Greetings, respected faculty members and my dear friends. It gives immense pleasure to be part of this faculty induction program organized by UGC HRDC AMU Aligarh. As a task of seminar presentation under Food for Thought, I will share a very famous poem written by 16th President of America, Abraham Lincoln, to his son's teacher when he starts for his schooling. Abraham Lincoln doesn't need any introduction. His role in making the modern America is undisputable, and the way he sailed America through the tough times of Civil War and abolished slavery from America are majestic. Abraham Lincoln belonged from a very poor background, and he learned through the practical life lessons and his interest in reading books. So he wanted to convey through this poem a message that it is no purpose of teaching, purpose of schooling is not about acquiring just the knowledge, but it is about acquiring the wisdom, ability to differentiate right and wrong, and to have a firm faith on himself. This poem, the message of this poem, are not limited to the his son or son's teacher only, but here the son is all the sons and daughters of this Mother Earth. That means all the human beings on the earth. And the teacher is not just the teacher of his sons, but all the teacher around the world has been given a message through this poem. And thirdly, this message is for the parents also, that how what the parents should demand from the teacher and what they should expect their son or daughter to be. That is not to be materialistic and artificial. So, coming to the poem, in the first paragraph, he says he will have to learn. I know that all men are not just, all men are not true, but teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero, that for every selfish politician there is a dedicated leader. Teach him for every enemy there is a friend. Here, President is trying to say to develop a hope in him, that is not to get disheartened by seeing problems around, by seeing the badness around. Because for every badness there is goodness, and every bad times get over by the good peoples. Second paragraph, it says, steer him away from envy if you can. Teach him the secret of quiet laughter. Here, there is a message of what is true happiness, how the true happiness can be acquired. That is by steering away from the jealousy, by being satisfied in what he has, not to be jealous. In the third paragraph, let him learn early that the bullies are the easiest to lick. Teach him, if you can, the wonder of the books, but also give him quiet time to ponder the eternal mystery of birds in the sky, bees in the sun, and the flowers on the green hillside. Here we want to say what to be followed and what not to be followed. He has not to follow the bullies, the strong person, the powerful person just because he is powerful or strong. He has to follow books, and again he has not to become a bookworm, but he has to learn by traveling, by going into the nature. He has to understand the nature. He has to become a natural person. Fourth paragraph, he says, in the school, teach him it is far honorable to fail than to cheat. Teach him to have faith in his own ideas. Here he is trying to say to develop faith in his own ideas. He does not need to cheat. Whatever he knows, he has to be confident in that. Even if everyone tells him they are wrong, teach him to be gentle with the gentle people and tough with the tough. Here is a message how to handle the people, how to handle the good people, how to handle the tough peoples. Further, he says, try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd when everyone is getting on the bandwagon. Teach him to listen to all men, but teach him also to filter all he hears on a screen of truth and take only the good that comes through. Here he is saying how to differentiate, teach him to differentiate right and wrong, good and bad, and ability to filter the truth from the huge crowd, huge voice. Teach him, if you can, how to laugh when he is sad. Teach him there is no shame in tears. Teach him to scoff at cynics and to beware of too much of sweetness. Here is a message how to handle emotions, how to handle failures. There is no shame in coming out in tears. At the same time, laugh at the cynics, laugh at pessimists, and beware of the butterings. Teach him to sell his brown and brand to the highest bidders, and but never put a price tag on his heart and soul. Here, what is to be sold and what not to be sold has been told. You can put price tag on the physical ability, physical strength and the mental ability brand, but never put a price tag on your heart and soul. That means you have to be ethical in the practice throughout life. Next paragraph says, teach him to close his ears to a howling mob and to stand and fight if he thinks he is right. Treat him gently, but don't cuddle him, because only the taste of fire makes the finest steel. And now this is a message. This is a message for teachers how to handle his son when he has developed these qualities and he is in the field to take a stand. At that time you have to be gentle, not to be too lovely, too caring. Let him have the courage to be impatient, and let him have the patience to be brave. When to be patient, when not to be patient. Teach him always to have sublime faith in himself, because then he will have sublime faith in the mankind. And lastly, he says to have faith in himself. Who? What himself? The person with these above qualities. If he has above qualities, what are these qualities? These are qualities of a good human being, about the humanity. If he has such a human being has faith on himself, then definitely he will have faith in the humanity. So humanity will survive. And finally, this is a big order, but see what you can do. He is such a fine fellow, my son. And definitely this is a big order, and he asked if what we can do about this, and he is such a fine fellow. He is soft like a wet mud, and it has to be converted into a pottery by the teachers, and these are the guidelines for teachers of conversion towards the pottery. So how much successful we become into converting them into a good pottery, good human being. So these are my interpretation about this poem. I can assure you that as many times you will go through this, you will get a new understanding, new ideas, new vision. That's all for that. I rest my voice. Thank you so much for your patient listening. Thank you so much.